Thanks. God bless you, God. Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, so it's recorded now. Yeah. So let's get started. Sorry. We're on the fence. Okay, so what we're going to learn, introduction to attitude, impact of attitude rather, understanding the impact of pain, careful attention to little things, the Plateau of latent potential. So before we start, I'll just introduce you to our organization once more. So we are a startup organization whose goal is to render virtual service to other startups through our professional team members who have years of experience in administration, management, technology, and virtual assistance role. So our service include virtual administrative service, social media management, website management, graphic designs, content making, project supervision, video advance. So we make video art for startup organizations, voice over, proofreading, video transcription, data entry, live streaming, and we also do training. So we also partner with a couple of organizations, so consulting firms too. Actually, the reason why we could partner with them with ease is that I have worked with some of these organizations, so it's kind of easy for me to partner with them. And we are using one of the organization platforms to making sure our training is going smoothly, which is Paul Pretoria. Paul Pretoria is a consulting firm in Lagos. So they are into training startup organizations, so on emotional intelligence, banking, and all of that stuff. So, introduction to attitude. So, before we start, I just want us to, I want to hear your view about attitude. What do you see attitude to be? It's very important for you to understand what attitude is, as sorry to say, my religious head would say. Because sometimes don't assume people know something. We keep on telling them the same thing over and over again until it sticks to their head and they begin to walk through the light. Don't assume that people know this thing. So just keep telling them over and over again. Then until you see that change or shift in movement towards what you want them to do, don't stop telling them the right thing. So let's get started. What is attitude? What do you understand of attitude is? So I'm going to mention I'm just call two people. Just give me a glimpse of what you understand about attitude, then we move on. So I think my eyes will be going to Ola in since. Maybe you go have a smile on our DP. I don't know, but let's put that aside. Ola, what do you understand about attitude, girl? What's your view of attitude? Like also, we tend to end this class very soon. So I want to do it very fast.
Attitude. Attitude is like a character, the way you react to things. We have different aspects of life, so we have different ways in life. The way we react to different things. That's the way me I understand it. It could be in the emotional part, it could be in your belief, it could be the political aspect. That's just it.
Okay, correct. Okay, nice one. Sorry. I don't call Agbaji. No, I'm too familiar with Agbaji. That's from Nana. Lola, what's up? What is attitude to be? What's your view? What's your paradigm or perspective towards attitude? To me.
Yeah, attitude is, let's say, the way you behave that shows how you feel and think about a particular thing.
Okay. I feel like calling Kenny. Kenny, what's up? Are you there? Okay, so if you're not there, so let's just read something else. So after reading a couple of books, I understand what attitude is based on my experience and some of the books I've read. So an attitude is a set of emotions, behavior, and beliefs towards a particular thing, place, object, or any subject matter. So it can also be a learned action or reaction that affects our conscious or subconscious mind. And I give an example. This example is something that happened in my school when I was secondary school back then, FGC, you know. So then when we're being called out, they don't really beat me actually. I'm this kind of quiet guy, even though I'm crazy, but I'm reserved. So when they call some of my friends out and they beat them in class and all that, it's expected that they show a natural reaction towards the action or the signal sent to them. The signal sent to them is to inflict pain on them. So their reaction, the reaction we expect from them could be sobbing, displeasure, crying, anger, and all of that. So these are reactions that naturally relate to the signal given to such person. However, people tend to learn some kind of attitudes which is weird to the kind of reaction that is given. For example, some of my friends want to dust the cane. So if they give them 10, they will just be laughing. You know, that is actually a weird attitude, or that is a weird reaction towards that signal that is sent to the person. Some of them will just laugh, some of them will just give nonchalant attitude towards that. However, we just want to go deep into what attitude is. I'm just trying to play around with this basic thing for you to understand what attitude is. So attitude has a great impact on who we are and who we will be. So the more attitude, the attitude we give towards things around us shapes the way we see things, shape our mode of thinking, or the way we think, the way we react, and the way we attend to things. So definitely, it is very important for us to focus on our attitude and be deliberate and careful with the attitude we give. Sometimes, okay, a couple of years ago, this is the way I structure my routine. I sleep very late, and of which I still sleep very late up to now. But when I wake up, the first thing I do is just to go on IG and try to solve the internet, watch. I like Shaggy actually nowadays. I like Shaggy. I watch all these comedy skits and all that. First thing in the morning, and I just play around with watching videos and all of that. So over time, I can't do without doing that. Subconsciously, when I wake up, I just look for my phone, even though I don't know it. That thing just comes to my phone. When I wake up, my phone, that is the first thing that comes to my head. Later on, when we have religious parents, then they just tell, oh, the first thing you need to do is to pray. Gradually, I begin to unfreeze that idea. Okay, I pray. After praying, the next thing is I look for my phone. So these are attitude that is part of me or my daily routine, of which in our 21st century world is arguably said it can be right or can be wrong, because sometimes some people are social media managers and they need to be online checking trends and all of that. So you wouldn't tell them to abstain from pressing their phone at that early stage. Even some of them will upload videos or content very, very early in the morning. So it's arguable, but we're just focusing on how it affects your daily life, how it affects the way you say things, how it affects who you are. So the attitude you give towards a particular subject matter will have ripple effect on you. Let's start with the attitude we use daily. First of all, we wake up. Some people pray. I don't really pray much of the time at this point. Some people press phone, even though I've called pressing phone. Some people rest a little, do some house chores, eat, go to work, have fun. We keep playing over and over this attitude every day. But this kind of attitude shape the way we see things, shapes our life, shape the way we react towards things, and all of that. However, I'm not saying this attitude are grossly bad, but it's arguable that they can affect you one way or the other. Sometimes some people gossip in the morning though. I know people that gossip around me in the morning, just even 6 a.m. just type, general, go check or go check this link, see what this guy is on, But you understand. So let's move forward. So all these attitude and actions shape the way we develop mentally and physically. Hence, what you do every day tends to get better when it reaches a particular threshold. So I will give you this instance. I finished from University of Lagos, and there is this my friend. I'm rushing this example. Okay, but it's fine. There is my friend. He's actually blind, and if you guys are familiar with Unilag, okay, who has been to Unilag before here? Is Unilag a good example? Okay, let me just play around with Unilag. So this guy, he moved from Mariri, which was my hostel, to the library. It's just a stone throw though, but the road is kind of tricky. if you really don't know the road, though, when you're blind, actually. So I've taken the guy once, twice, thrice to the library, and over time, people take him to the library every day. Then on his own rather, he can go to the library without falling, number one, without missing his step, and also getting to the library at the time he wants, because he has already mastered the route, and he knows where there is step, where he needs to be careful, where there's portal and all of that. I actually checked him and he passed it. So the reason why he could do that is that he has gotten to a particular threshold whereby his body is immune to the same thing he has been doing over and over again. So he gets better, and his body can do some certain thing without his conscious effort, or his conscious it's a conscious effort actually. So when you get to a particular threshold, such an attitude will move from the conscious stage to the unconscious stage. I'll show you a diagram here, but I just doesn't necessarily. Let me just play around with content. So when you get to the unconscious stage, you don't have to think before you perform the routine or the activity. I'll give you another instance again. When I was in 300 level, there's this sitting position I like, sitting at the back. Even though they say people that sit at the back are dummies, bro. People that sit at the back, I might say, they are one of the smartest guys in the class. Those just like looking for trouble sitting at the back. So over time master us that we don't want to sit in the front. So we just feel comfortable sitting in the back. So I'll give you some instances, which is shown here. Waking up at a particular time. When I finished my service, my NYSC in Lagos, I actually deployed to Lagos. Those soldiers will wake us up around 4 a.m. So they keep waking us around. The first time we tried it was hell for us, because we were complaining, even me, as per body nows, secondary school, Yabate, Unilag, and all that. So that street lifestyle now. I run under the bed, I sleep again. See, they finish morning training and all of that. So, but 2 weeks later, when they come to yourself, even before they come, I already wake up 4 exactly. The time I wake up, maybe I exceed time, will be around 3:58 or 4:03. So I don't exceed that time because of the consistency in what I do. So I do the same thing consistently. So when you do the same thing consistently, you tend to be better at it, number one. And someone's mic is not muted here, so I'm hearing scratches or something. Okay, I think that is really lacking. Oh, Sean, sorry, please, can I just mute your mic, please? So when you do the same thing over and over again, you'll be a master at it. But when you do the same thing with innovation over again, you'll be a master at it. You can easily find error, and it is hard for people to see error in your work or in your design or your work or in anything you do when you know how to do the same thing with innovation over again. And also, you'll be able to sorry, I think I need to make someone and the co-host here. But can I make you a co-host? This invite list is giving me, it's distracting me.
Okay, no problem.
So you just admit people that out. Sorry, please, guys. I'm very sorry. Co-host. Okay, you're already a co-host. Thanks. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny's in the waiting room. Oh, okay. So, a particular sitting position too. I've made mention of that earlier, and also a brand of car. So if you like using a kind of particular car, it could be Mercedes-Benz and all of that. You don't need to see the logo. When you see the shape of that car, you can correctly identify that this is a Mercedes-Benz, irrespective of the distance, irrespective of the color, irrespective of where you are. Since you are familiar and you are periodically like showing interest, or you love seeing that kind of brand and all of that, when you see it anyway, you can identify it. Even though they change the color or anything about it, you can identify it. Also, a route or a road to a particular destination, if you've been walking that route over time, when you close your eyes, you can confidently get to your destination. If that place is safe, you can get to your destination without error. That is the impact of consistency, doing the same thing over and over again. You know, there are two different things: doing the same thing over and over again and doing the same thing with innovation over again. You tend to get better quickly, and you are liable not to make foolish errors. But when you do the same thing over and over again, you tend to be good at what you are doing. However, you can still make errors though, but you need to do the same thing with innovation over and over again, and that's how you get better. So I'll give an instance. When you keep doing the same thing over time, you will get to a point where you don't have to think to do it. You will end up doing that thing perfectly with less attention. I'll give an example: your security pattern. You know, if you also open your phone, you don't even need to check the pattern. You can just quick, you just swipe everything and you are good. Your phone gets unlocked. So these are a very good example to explaining the concept of you doing something over and over again, or consistently. You get so perfect in that, even with paying less attention to that particular subject matter. And I want us to talk. I want us to give us a personal example of what you can do without with paying little attention to it. My example is I can open my phone by paying little attention without paying attention to itself. I don't need to pay attention to my phone. I can just open it, just be talking to someone and swipe off my phone and use my pattern and all of that, and it gets open. I don't need to pay much attention to that. So this can only be done because I successfully done it over time. So my body is already immune to that activity. So my conscious parts does not necessarily need to be there, but my subconscious can just play around with it and it gets done. So I'll just pick some randomly. We pass the mic to the next person. Everybody's going to talk in this class. And you give me one example of something you can do without paying attention to it. So I'm going to call, no, I'm not calling Olainka. Olainka, I'm not calling you. So don't be scared. I'll call you Ken. Ken is not in class. Tomilola, I'm calling you Tomilola. So kickstart, just play first row. So what can you do without paying attention to that thing?
So I can move around my room like without light, let's say in the midnight.
Correct. So you know where your phone is,
My
where
stuff,
your books,
like if I want to
correct?
pick stuffs, like that.
Correct.
Nice.
Correct. So how were you able to do that?
Because I'm used to my room, like where I stay, like that.
Correct. Correct. So you pass to the next person. Pass to the next person to me.
Amodu Kendi.
Candy.
I can change the channel without looking at the news.
Oh, out of the moisture of heart, the mouth speaketh. So, you use the example you are more familiar with. Kenny, don't worry, we're not talking too much. Don't worry. Pass the mic to another person.
Olani Kendi.
Kenny, why you're muted? You're muted.
Am I the one? Am I the one you're calling?
No, I'm calling you a circle. You're not serious.
There's another Kendi.
Yeah, she spoke not quite long and she chose you, huh?
Oh, okay. Actually, I just joined the class like a few minutes ago, so I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah, mute yourself. Mute yourself.
What'd you say?
Mute yourself. I'm with you.
Okay.
And Amodu Kennedy, can you just pass the mic to another person?
Let me check. Olainka Bilikis.
Okay. I'm so used to my clothes that I can wear them in darkness, and I'll wear it perfect.
That's so simple. It's too everybody can do that. It's too basic.
Are you sure?
Also,
Everyone can do that too.
I want something
People
complicated.
actually, because there are some clothes where the front and the back seem similar, and at the end of the day, we're like, oh, I'm wearing it wrong.
Yeah,
But
I
exactly.
can do that perfectly with
Yeah,
every single clothes in my wardrobe.
I was about saying that, like, how is it quite possible for you to identify the front
the
to the
color.
back clothes in the darkness? I
No,
mean, the
I'm
darkness,
used
that's
to all
quite
my clothing.
you.
I'm used to my clothing. It's my clothes now.
That's so strange, actually, though. Well, I mean, that's fine.
Agbaja can actually do that. So everybody can do that. Maybe you are the only one that cannot do that.
It's not everyone. You see, Agbaje can do.
Really, Agbaja, shame on you. I mean,
No. It's not shame on me. I mean, it sounds so funny. Like you can differentiate between right and wrong and we in the darkness. And
yes.
I've not tried it.
Is it?
I don't think I can do that.
Oh, I've tried it. I've tried it many times. So
I think
No,
because you've not tried it, but I think you should be able to do that because I can. Okay, the only thing I can't do is I can identify the color of the clothes. Obviously, it's dark, so I can identify, but I can determine what clothes it is when I feel the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. So pass the mic to the next person, and we'll continue.
Oluseun Oyelake.
Oluseun Oyelake.
Yes. I can listen to music while reading at the same time.
Because that really give us another example. That doesn't really matter what we're talking about.
I don't know any other example I can give now.
Okay, let me look for an example in my room. Okay, okay, let me give you the example. It might not be applicable to you guys, but it has happened to me. When I was in secondary school, I read one government textbook to civic education. I read it to the extent that when you ask for a topic, I don't need to check the content. I will just open it. So I may just open it 2-3 times, but I'll get to that topic within that 2-3 times. So I've mastered the pages to the extent that I know where a particular topic is. And there's a friend of mine too. She crammed jam, Suti, my sister. If it's a number 3, she will tell you B. You know, it's a really question. What does number 3 B? So it's all balls around you being consistent to doing the same thing over and over again. So let's just continue. I think it's a little bit interactive. So let's take the impact itself, the impact of attitude. So people need to understand that a bad attitude will lead to a bad lifestyle. Attitude shapes your life. It shapes the way you think. It shapes the way you see things. It shapes the way you make decisions. It shapes the way you rationale thing or make rational decision about things. So let's hear from you the attitude you feel is bad. So you're going to mention one attitude each that you feel is very bad for you. For you. No, I don't for you. That you know is bad because your own option might be subjective. It's actually subjective. So I want a general view. So you're going to tell us one attitude you feel that is bad. So I'm going to start with Agbaje. Yeah, your time start now.
Hold on. I didn't get an explanation.
Okay, so we just got to the impact of attitude. So we've not only said the impact itself, but I want to share your view about the attitude you feel is the bad attitude that you're familiar with. Let's put that way.
A bad attitude I'm familiar with. Okay, there are quite a lot of attitude that that can be should I say particular to some particular maybe set of people. To me, the attitude may feel bad, and some people it kind of feels normal. Let me say one is let's say you are driving a car, you have your car, so you are driving. So you just decided to see some people, these people that feel like, okay, maybe you want to lift someone, you understand? So they are not impaired. So let's now say you now decide to help those people. So you carry the two of them, they're sitting at the back of your car. You are driving and these guys are discussing so loud, like you feel uncomfortable. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to go to my destination I'm not even using my own car radio or the lights, and I'm helping you, and you're discussing at the back. You are so loud about it. It can be interfering with whatever. You don't even know what I'm thinking about anything. It can even make me kind of lose concentration when driving. So that kind of attitude, to me, I feel is bad. But to some people, like I said, they don't say anything bad about it. It just seems kind of normal to them.
Oh, nice. Okay, before I move to the next one, let me give you another perspective. There's this friend of mine when I was still working at Lekki. So when he carries other stuff, he doesn't like people sitting at the back. Number one, and he also does not like people sleeping when we get to Terminal Bridge. When we get to Terminal Bridge, there's heavy traffic on Terminal Bridge. So when you sleep, it feels that, what word did he use? It feels cheated. You are sleeping, he's driving you, and you are not the owner of the car. But I know you don't have any input in the functionality of that car, and you are sleeping in the car while driving. To me, I don't know. To me, I don't. It's actually bad and not bad. Oh, come now. I want to sleep. You don't understand.
It's all about perspective. Like I said from the beginning, to me, it may feel kind of. I mean, I don't say anything bad with it. So okay, just like the same way when you keep operating your phone, understand? When you keep operating your phone to some extent, your parents will be like, your addiction to this phone is so much. To them, it's a bad attitude. There are some people that even when you are talking to them, they are operating their phone. I've seen that one in so much gathering, like we are a set of maybe 5 people. You said you are having a meeting, you are talking, and the members of the team are all pressing phone. I'm like, this is wrong. We call this meeting. We are all supposed to come together to talk and you're operating your phone. I'm like, are you with me? Be like, oh, I'm with you and all. It's a very bad attitude, right? But to them, they feel it's normal because it's a kind of addiction to the phone. You get so to that person now, he's not doing anything bad, but to you feel like, no, this is just wrong in all. Like it is wrong from one perspective. You get the logic.
Okay, yeah. So this kind of view is actually subject to the way it is generally accepted. So don't forget, people have subjective view towards a particular thing. So for that example you gave earlier, you are in a meeting. When you see disciplined people, you don't see disciplined people rather in a meeting person phone. You can't see them because they will dedicate that time to listen and also committed to the meeting. There is a course on ground, so you need to walk through that light. And there are times where you just need to sit down and just have fun pressing phone and all that. So being addicted to a particular thing does not make it good or not good to you and all of that. But how is it valued among both parties? Sometimes you'll be convinced that guy, what are they doing? No good. What I'm doing is wrong. The settings or where I am, I shouldn't be doing this. You don't expect me to be pressing phone in a board meeting. It's very like you want to be sacked. You don't expect me pressing phone when we are having serious meeting. Or when I'm training, I'm not expected to press my phone or even receive calls, except on the position that someone is in danger. Even despite if someone is in danger, that's why we have virtual assistant. For today, we really don't have virtual assistant. Our virtual assistant has been very busy. So that's often time I ensure that I have a virtual assistant who will pick my calls for me, who will do other things for me virtually, so I don't get distracted with the call of what I'm doing at the moment. So these are very weird attitude. You don't press phone in board meetings, in meeting gathering that are very important, except there is break where you just press phone minimally and all that. And however, his phone is very addictive. So to that, I think it just needs to be done moderately. So let's move on. I think we are wasting a lot of time. So the impact of bad attitude includes poor performance. So you notice that you wake up late. Waking up late is a very bad attitude. It's actually a very bad attitude. Someone is in the waiting room. Okay, so waking up late is a bad attitude, and it can get it to you to the extent that you have poor performance in your work, or you not researching. Imagine as a product designer, you're not product designer, you're not reading, you're not researching, you're not checking trends. Eventually, your designs will be poor. You have poor design. You just see people who started designing last month hitting the nail on the head bringing ideas, innovations, and all of that. So that bad attitude will eventually get a result in you, which will just tarnish your image. So one of the impacts again is laziness. You do things sluggishly, you procrastinate and all of that. You just feel nonchalant about getting things done. So low self-esteem, nagging, finding things hard to solve. That's the impact of bad attitude. Anxiety, seeing things on problem as impossible to solve. Let me make this note to you. When you see disciplined people, I have a couple of disciplined people around me. When you tell them, I want you to be in a meeting around 4:30, I bet you see them around 3:30. They just sit down and just be observing the environment or taking time and all of that. Can you guys give me a minute, please? Okay, sorry. So you just see them playing around or chilling, waiting for the actual time to comment and all of that. So this is disciplined people. And disciplined people solve things with ease. They see solutions in problem. They eventually don't get depressed and they don't die early. Someone just died, I think yesterday. A rich person just died. So we don't know what killed him. Maybe it's money or anything. So it can also lead to death. Bad attitude can lead to death. As I'm expecting you guys to ask questions, but since you guys are not asking questions, let's continue. So the impact of good attitude. One.
Sorry, I have a question. I didn't know we could ask questions within.
Yeah. You can stop me. You can stop me.
Okay.
Or sorry, better still, just type in the comment section. So when I see it, I'll just continue.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the impact of good attitude. Number one, confidence to solve problems, little or no fear about crisis, regular positive vibe, good performance, high self-esteem, confidence, coordination, regular positive conviction, and happiness. Don't forget, you can still send a message. I can read it. And please kindly mute your mic. Yes, so let's continue. So understanding the impact of paying careful attention to little things. So look for the green dots. So everybody just look for the green dots. When you see the green dots, those are the five.
Is on S on little things. The things is on S, yeah.
S. Okay, that's fine. This is simple. I fucked up. I really fucked up. Okay, so let's continue. I'm still waiting for your question, so I'll just read through and at the same time I'll still be. So let's play a quick game. So everyone will look for a word in this. Okay, I'll check this. You look for a word in this. What game is this? I can't even. What's the name of this game? What was the name of this game?
What was that?
What puzzle?
Puzzle. What puzzle exactly?
Puzzle.
Okay. So we're gonna pick a word out of this puzzle. So just keep it in your mind.
Helicopter. Oh, sorry.
Easy. Easy.
Sorry.
That was fast.
You know the funny thing? She said helicopter. Do you guys know where the helicopter is? So that's not a problem actually. So just raise up your hand. I'll just pick you. There are a lot of words we can pick up here. So just keep one word in your mind, raise your hand, and I'll call you to say it, and you tell us where it is. So just raise your hand. Just check. Okay, Agbaji is raising his hand up. So Agbaji, you're good.
I can see airship.
Where's airship? Where's airship?
So in the third column.
Okay. Third column, AIRSHIP. Oh, correct. Nice one. Airship. Billy Kiss, you're good.
Yeah, I can see helicopter by the left hand below H down. Yeah, helicopter, and there's tanker below it too. It reads in horizontal.
You are giving them more options. You're giving them more options.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, you said there were more words now, so they just look for more.
Okay, that's fine. So give us the description again, so we look for it.
Myself?
Yes, give us the description again, so we'll get where the helicopter is.
Okay, I said by the left-hand side. Second. It starts from the second column. Is that a column? Yeah, column. Left-hand side, second column. That's where the H, the spelling starts from. So it spells in an horizontal form. Spells to the right.
I think we need to work on our description well because
Let me give that a
Oh,
better
okay.
description.
no, I've seen it actually,
Okay.
but I'm not comfortable with the description. But we need to okay, I got you talk. So let's hear you.
I was just going to give a better description to what she said.
Okay.
Okay. No, just give the better description. Let me see, because
Yeah.
we don't have a perfect row and column, so we can't actually say it's on the 5th or 6th row something. I could only describe using the column. Okay.
Yeah, to make that, I could have said the second column, then the last alphabet on the second column. And that's the last alphabet, right? H. Helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah, you get something quite like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Bleachy, can you just put your hand down? Kenny, Amadou Kenny.
Yes, the 6th column, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th letter on the 6th column, P, plain, horizontally to the right.
Okay, plain, correct. Olani Kendi. You can put your hand down, Amadou Kendi.
The 9th column, counting from the left side, bomb.
I think I'm doing it like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 9th column.
Starting from the left-hand side.
Okay,
when you count from the left-hand side, bomb.
Bomb. Okay, correct.
I think that should be a bomber. A bomber.
Okay, I think it's perfect. I think bomber is perfect because it's an aircraft. Don't forget, it's an aircraft. So bomber is fine. Bomber is correct. You can also say bomb. I think bomber is perfect. Okay, Oluwaseun.
Yes, on the 7th column, we have Jumbo. The 7th column, the first letter J, Jumbo.
Sorry, come again, please.
The 7th column.
7th, okay.
Yes, first letter at the top, J. Yes, Fatica. It's Fatica. Jumbo.
Is anything like this? Is like Jumbo?
I think there is. There's a word with Jumbo.
Okay, but I don't.
Then
okay, Jumbo.
Yeah.
Sorry, correct. Jumbo. Jumbo is correct. Yeah. Jumbo.
Then the following column we have map. That is 6th letter M. Vertically MAP map.
Can we all see this? 6th. Sorry, come again. How many columns?
Yes.
That should
yes.
8.
From the left.
Just the
right?
column beside that jumbo. Yeah.
Yeah, just the column beside that jumbo.
Okay.
Just after jumbo. We have MAP. That is 6th letter M.
Okay, MAP. Correct.
Map.
Okay, correct. Oh, that's fine. So is there another word we can say before we just move to the next one?
Yeah. If you start from your right, the 4th column from your right, the 2nd letter G, that's the glider.
Glider,
yeah. If you start from your right, the 4th column, 2nd letter.
Okay. Okay, we need one more before we start.
Yeah, and
I can say fighter. I don't know.
I can say
that's fighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th column from your right, 3rd letter.
From my right.
Reads vertical downward.
Okay, correct. Fighter. Okay, I can see that. Fighter. So I think.
And yes, Airbus. Okay.
Airbus. Give us a good description about Airbus.
The column beside the. Okay, you might not get it that way. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. The 10th, the 11th column, 2nd letter A. It reads horizontal to your right. Airbus or Air Busy, or I don't know. There's Air and there's Bus, there's Busy, whichever one that spells.
Is there boss?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th column.
Yeah, just above that.
Reading from your right.
Above the plane image. Yeah, just above.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's a tanker. Yeah, and there's a tanker. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that the other time.
okay.
It's plane. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry, planes. Give us a description for.
You don't want to stop.
No, after this one, we are good.
Plane. Plane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th column from your left.
My left.
On the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th letter. Then it spells horizontally to your right. Plane.
Okay, I can see that. I think we can all see that too. I think your description is getting better. Oh, you actually do that. I don't think there was error there. So let's continue. So, okay. I think someone, let me check a message. How is those ever saying about that? Let me check something. Sorry, man. Okay, the impact. You get Bilkis.
Yeah. Okay. Impact of okay.
Yeah, so it's not that it is the attitude.
Okay.
So now the reason I gave us this content was to make our attention wrap towards the problem we are trying to solve, that is looking for the dot. Where I fucked up was that I was thinking that some of us may have religious contract. Let me just say it's bad as eyesight, but some people would not want to say that. So I was trying to consider that. So I had to make the dot a little bit bigger, of which some of us may even have a kind of bad eyesight. So I don't want to I don't want to exacerbate it actually. So the thing I observed with this is that the way you are asked to do a puzzle, or you are given a task that needs attention, you'll notice that some activities within you stop working in order to get a coalition of more organs to just function well to getting the answer or to getting the task done. I'll give you an instance. Whenever you're looking for a dot, there are some games you see online, they will tell you to look for a kind of dot. You will notice that your heart just beats properly or in a very calm way. Your eyes stop winking. Sometimes we don't have control over the way our eyes wink. Your lens your lens just gets wider and all of that. So some functions we have to stop so that you will be able to pay more attention to the task you are given. That is what attention is more about. You have to stop some activities within you, which is working subconsciously in order to get a particular answer or solve a particular task. You will notice when you pay that attention looking for the dots, you have this calmness in you. The reason why you had that calmness, it was a function of the brain to just calm your body to stop some activities working in order to get tasks done. I don't know if you observed that, if I may ask. Okay, you didn't observe that. Let's continue. Nobody's saying anything. Let's continue. So while you were doing this puzzle, many of you guys, or many of you rather, were careful looking for alphabet words to just make coalition of those words, those alphabet together to form words. So you're careful with the way you arrange your words, looking at the scattered alphabet here. That carefulness is more of the attention, and you will notice that you had a rapt attention towards what you're doing, stopping all that distraction from taking or extracting a little bit of attention. So the reason why I sum all this thing up is to make you understand what attention is. Paying attention to little things. The more you pay attention to little things, you will find errors. You will easily find errors, number one. You will easily manage errors, and you will know how to get to a particular you know how to execute a particular task with less stress, paying attention to little things. So there was this. Let me give you the example. Let's move on. I'll give you the example later on. Later on, rather. So your attention becomes clearer when you stop other subconscious activities within you to get a particular result. There are hundreds of activities running within us without our conscious control. For example, our heartbeat, eye blink, breath, blood circulation, and so on. They work without our conscious control. So pay attention to the content in the next slide. The more you pay attention to something, you will notice the details. The more you pay attention to your heart, you will hear it beating. And sometimes when you're in a very, very quiet area where I don't know how to measure the sound. So let me give you a figure. Very quiet area. You will hear the way your heart beats, like you feel it deep inside of you. So nota bene, note, it was beating even before you paid attention to it. So you can pass a particular route for a long time and not notice a particular building on the same route. I've been a victim to it. Along Unilag Road, I've been passing Unilag Road for the past 6 years now, only for me to discover a building last month. I've never seen that building before, and I discovered it last month. That means I wasn't paying attention, or my focus wasn't more on the building. So I just passed Unilag Road, just keep going, just keep passing to my house and all of that. But it just come to my notice. Okay, it was a deliberate action because I was planning to teach this topic to with another class. So I decided, okay, let me pay attention to details now. Since I'm teaching, let me just pay attention to details. I was seeing buildings I didn't notice before. It's not they were not there, they were actually there. And I might have seen them, but my attention didn't really stick on it. So that is the importance of paying attention to things. And we're working on paying attention to little things. It really matters. So the moment you start paying attention to little things, people will find little or no errors in your work. When you pay attention to little things, you get these benefits. One, you identify errors easily. You avoid making unnecessary mistakes. I have people that make silly mistakes. Some mistake can be so frustrating that, chief, why do you make this mistake now? You want to chase our client away. Why? Why would you make this kind of mistake? So there are people that just make that, I don't want to call silly again, that the error is just not worth it. Why would you make this error? However, we are humans, we are bound to make errors, but we can curb the level or the integrity of those errors. Sometimes as a content creator, when you're making content, you need to use some AI or some apps that will help you catch or identify some silly errors you make. For example, you may just write is 2 times. Well, this error anybody can make. Okay, someone is messaging me. Anybody can make such error. This is so accurate. Okay. Anybody can make such errors, but we just need to just pay attention to those little things. Little things. It really matters. It can save your life. It can save you from being sacked. It can help you. I'll give you another instance. I worked with Premier Hub Innovation Center in Yaba. I just left not too long, and I noticed that I'm not. We have cleaner. I'm just the kind of person that vibe with people. I vibe with our cleaner and all of that. Nobody wants to carry that chair from the lounge to the main office, and it's not my duty to do it because I'm not a cleaner. I'm a community officer, a program officer. I make programs for the company. But I just decided to do that. That thing saved the day. It saved the cleaner's job. My boss did not even know that kind of thing happened, but it would have been very mad if he had seen that thing there. So those little things really matter. It can save people's job. It can help others. So you need to pay careful attention to details. And as product designer, you need to pay careful attention to the way you use your icons, your color. And now I'll give you an instance of the error we made. Imagine we were using green as an error message. The subject is subjective though, but green should never be an option as an error message or anything. You should have used other relevant colors, but green shouldn't be there. So when I gave one of my colleagues to do the assignment and she sent it back to me, she said, I'm done. I just check it out and confirm and send it back to us. So she will send it back to you guys. I just read the content. So, oh, okay, this is a nice tax. Okay, that's fine. But I didn't check the color she used. I don't know why I didn't check that day. This is just a cue that I wasn't paying attention to details or little things, and that caused like a huge slap on me because it's just a dumb action that I didn't check that. I used green to my students. I gave my student the instruction to use green as an error message. Nobody should hear that. So let's continue. So it improves. There will be improvement in your memory when you pay attention to little things. It will affect your memory positively. You remember a lot more details than usual. That is when you pay attention to little things. Number 5, you will make a better decision. 6, you'll be less vulnerable to what other people think. 7, you will have more direction and clarity. Most especially clarity. Clarity. Sometimes, one of my friends just tell me, I just want clarity. I just want to be clear. And the only way by which you can be clear is when you are informed and you have paid attention, deliberate attention. You have to be very deliberate about this task. You have to be very deliberate. You pay deliberate attention towards little things, then you can confidently tell thousands and millions of people about that subject matter because you have paid attention. That's very, very important. Pay attention to little things. Some errors will just finish you. I was learning HTML 2019, so I didn't add slash. Even though I've stopped learning for a very long time, so I may not remember most of the code and all of that. So I didn't add slash to my code, my code and all of that. So when I was trying to launch the website, it wasn't working. I was frustrated. I tried it 2 days. I was just looking. I was so tired. That's why I deliberately know how to learn coding, of which I may still end up learning it, but I really need it for my designs too. So I was just so tired. I've been trying to just look for error. I didn't see the error. I didn't see the mistake. So what I observed about you looking for error is that don't force yourself. Just put the system in your front and sit down and just be doing some other thing. You can take a cup of tea or be eating something or be watching a movie. When you are doing that, your subconscious will just help you position your eye to that error. I don't know how it works. I can't scientifically explain that, but it really works. That worked for me, that worked for my friends and all of that. So what I did was I put my system on the table. What was I think I was just chilling, just looking at the system. Days I didn't see the error. That day didn't take me 5 minutes. I just saw that I didn't add slash at the end of the code and all of that. And that was affected my work, and I couldn't launch. When I added slash, it launched. So little error can cost you or can cause your project to not be effective or not to be usable. So you need to pay careful attention to little things. This really matters. Let's move to the next one. So the plateau of latent potential. So plateau is a particular point or a hill that is actually burdensome. So the plateau of latent potential is this time lag between effort and achieving the result we want. I'll show you a diagram and I will explain it more in detail before we end the class. We'll start in the class in a few minutes from now. So in general, achieving our desires take longer than we think, but with consistency and repeated improvements. Don't forget repeated improvement. So you keep improving over and over again, we get to achieve our desire. Sometimes we see people, how did this guy become this good? It has been consistent improvement. It's not consistent work again. Consistent work is okay, correct? Okay, yeah, correct. But consistent improvement, we get to achieve our desire. So during the process of achieving our goals, our effort don't make visible changes until it crosses a critical threshold before the change becomes visible. This point is the value of disappointment. If you are struggling to improve and you have not seen a significant change in your work, that means you have not crossed that plateau of latent potential. That plateau of latent potential is where you get frustrated that I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not learning product design again. I'm tired. I'm not doing this thing again. That point is a cue that you're already reaching that goal of knowing what you want to do. You just get frustrated. Oh, I don't want to design again. I'm done. I'm not designing. I've gotten to that level. Guy, make a go look for another skill again because I changed my career path. But it takes consistency, enjoying it, taking a break, going out with spouse, your friend, your someone you choose to be so intimate with, eating good food. And good food can help you. When you eat good food, you just feel this joy, this exuberance all over your body. So sometimes your problem might be when you're frustrated, it might be you have not eaten something very nice. You can just go and get sumptuous food. It's not expensive, 2K. Sorry, that was a joke actually. But it helps. So when you get frustrated, maybe you're just tired about what you're doing, you can just take a walk, hang out with friends, close friends that will just make you laugh, go on a hike, ride bicycle. I like riding bicycle though, but not in this area because they will be saying there's a way they look at people that ride bicycle here. Eat good food. You can just get chicken, take cold drink, play ball. You know, sorry, that was a joke. Okay. So let's go to this diagram here. So in this diagram, you will this diagram will give you an imagery to what I was explaining. So this is the result. Can you see my cursor? Let me check my other screen.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So this angle, the left angle is the result, and the down part is fine. So when you want to start a particular project, the way we see it is just like this. Sorry. Oh, why is my screen? I'm very sorry for this. There's no over it. So we see achieving our goal so smoothly with ease and all of that. But sometimes, or most of the times, it doesn't work that way. We get to a particular value that things just all of a sudden become difficult, hard, strenuous, frustrating, and it just get tired. However, the moment you keep pushing, just don't push too much, just push a little bit. Eventually, you see the results. And it's more about the product design. Whenever you are not saying gigs or you're just frustrated about your design and all of that, you can just take a very little break, because where you are is the valley of disappointment, where you get frustrated. Some people call it the hell on earth. You get frustrated, you feel disgusted and all of that. But just take a little bit of break and come back and try to do it again. Eventually, you pass through that value and you get to the position where you actualize your vision or your goal or anything you want to achieve. So getting to your goal may always not be smooth, but it's very important to see it as a rough lane, get your mind prepared, and pass through that route, getting to your destination. However, through that process, pay attention to little things. It really matters. Pay attention to little things. So this is also a better version of explaining what I said earlier. I will push through this phase. You're committed, you keep reminding yourself what you want to achieve and all of that. So some people will think the road is so smooth to just go up like this, but it's very rough. That's the reality. But the goal worth the effort. So let's keep pushing. So how does Plateau of latent potential have to do with being a product design? Our goal is to become a product designer, I assume. This goal is achievable through a series of training. Don't forget, a series of training. So not only in this place, you can also go on YouTube, try and pay for courses. There's some courses I see, they're not expensive. Just pay 5K, 10K. Monitor them when they are doing their promo or pro bono, what do you call it? Freebie or something. Just pay 5K, 10K. These are not expensive. Pay for value. When you pay for value, you will hold it tight. Imagine you pay 300. There's a course I wanted to do then. The course was 1 point something million. I just felt no, I'm too smart to waste this money. Perhaps I don't even have that money though, but I'm just too smart to waste that kind of money. I can play around with YouTube videos, meet experts there and get it. But sometimes when you pay this money, you value that that training, that course. So you go through a series of training, certification, research, you read books a lot, and also design other people's products. Some of the ways by which you can grow as a product designer, you can just look for people's products. There was time when I was learning product design, I designed Wema Bank app, the Alert app. I designed it from, not from, I just designed 70% of the app. I designed everything. And I also added some of my features there because I thought some things should not be here. I added my own too. I was copying people's design. I would design what they design. I would design what they design. Over time, I had a bit of portfolios that I can pitch out. So these are the things you need to do. Just call people. That's what China does. This is the Chinese are not really as innovative per se as we think is arguable, but they copy people's work. They keep copying people's work, steal your idea, add innovation to it, and they become better. So you also need to do research. You will get to the value of disappointment where you get fed up with design, research, and all of that. But this value is a cue that you are close to achieving what you want to achieve. As a result, keep pushing and improving in the things you do every day in order to create a good product design. Please, every day, just keep doing. Reading books, it could be 10 minutes or so much. It's too small actually. Or for people that are working, 30 minutes or 1 hour, just read books on product design. Look for something to critique. Criticize something, just look for an app, just go online, read articles, read journals, you start and argue with some people, or tell them about product design. Just give them some kind of grammar there. So it's the psychology behind that is to give you this exuberance that, oh, I'm getting to know some things. So you also want to know new words, new things, and all of that. Interact with people about product usability. Whenever they are pressing a particular app, just talk to them about products. This will help you create more interest, more interest over time. So now the day is over, night is coming here. It's time to close this session or call it. Some people call it a day, we are calling it a night because we are done. So if you have any question, you can quickly ask before we leave. If you don't have, I would love to hear your voice before I go.
No question.
So, how was the class?
Hello. I like the fact that it was interactive at some point. And yeah, you did Ojuro at some point there. You were only asking, was it Agbaji? I don't know. Maybe you asked another person. At some point, I was out of the meeting. I had to rejoin concerning what their bad attitudes that people do that he feels it's not right. Was it only Agbaji you asked?
Okay. The reason I think Agbaji was more interested to talk. And other people were not
really? But then there was a question you asked and everyone answered now. So not only Agbaji.
I think it was about time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Okay, my bad. I received the blame and I'm sorry. So what else again
did we see?
I will call the class.
Well, I will say, I mean, you did a very good job. I mean, you've been doing a great job so far, but I mean, this one is just another, I mean, like, this is actually the first time I actually heard this kind of stuff, to be very honest. I mean, and I find it so interesting and so, I mean, my curiosity just kind of got more intense about, okay, I mean, what is this plateau of, I mean, like, I don't know how to put it, but I mean, it's so wonderful. It got me glued to the screen. I'm like, okay, I need to know more. This thing, it got finished so far, but I mean, we move, Sha. I mean, well, it's been great so far, and we really appreciate the effort you put into compile the stuff and summarize and give us, you dished out some really interesting stuff. And moreover, I think the way the classes are always so interactive makes it more, I don't know how to put it, makes it more wonderful,
Oh, thank you.
Makes it more exciting and educative.
I think Olaika, okay, that's fine. Let me keep my mouth shut. Okay, what next? So I just want to hear everybody's view before we call it the day is over. And I want to go and sleep. Actually, I really want to go and sleep.
Yeah, thank you so much for this class. We appreciate your time devoted to this. Thank you so much. And I noticed a question on the chat by Olainka. It seems the question has not been addressed.
What question is that?
How is low self-esteem a bad attitude?
Okay, I didn't say it's
He,
bad attitude.
he has addressed it.
Yeah.
There is an impact. Yeah.
Oh,
You can redo that anyway.
Okay, so okay, let's play around with that in just 3 minutes. 2 minutes actually. So okay, so so the impacts of bad attitude includes. So what I think Olayinka didn't say the impact. Maybe she thought I was mentioning bad attitude. You get it?
okay. I do.
Listening is actually bad attitude. It's also an impact too. Don't forget. Listening is very bad. It's actually an attitude. It's a behavior. It's also an impact. But low self-esteem is actually the impact. It's not like behavior per se. It's not even behavior. It's a result. You know, it's a result of a particular thing that happened. You understand? So I think I addressed that. So that's just the impact. So is there anything finally? Kenny, what's up? You haven't saying anything. And after the class, you know, I have a task for you. Olani Kende, I have a lot of tasks for you.
I have to say thank you for the class. And I like the way the class was interactive.
But you didn't say anything. Okay, I see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Kenny, bye bye. We're talking later. I shut that up. I like that result, man. Okay, so thank you very much for the class. I love the way we all participated. My goal here is making sure that everybody gets it right, being a product designer, also more to be good in the research parts, because that's where the money is, not just designing, not UI itself. It's more about the research, you reading books, you solving problems and all of that. So our partner, Purple Training and Consulting, I really want to say thank you. To my colleagues who have been working behind the scene, I just want to say thank you. I don't take this for granted. I can't take myself. I just can't eat good food. I really thank myself. And to participants here, thank you for being attentive and being responsive. So I see you on the next one.
Thank you very much, boss.